think we might be live. I'm going to go over
Are
there.
we live? Are we live?
I don't know. I'm going to go double check on the old YouTube. YouTube is the one.
Yeah, people are coming on.
Okay.
I think we're live.
Let's see.
I think we're live. I think we're ready to educate the people.
Whew. I need to be educated. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, we're live.
All right. Here we go.
Educate the people.
All right. You want to do this? Here we go.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
The strange, the bizarre, the funny, and the sad. In a world of algorithmic nightmares, these are the stories you find when you scroll too long. All the facts, all the absurdity, none of the fluff. This is Doomscrollin with your hosts, Sam Tripoli and Midnight Mike.
Here we are.
We're live. Welcome to Doomscroll, the most educational hour on the internet. Sad day here at Doomscrolling. We lost the goat.
We did.
And
We lost Krusty.
It's gonna affect our energy, but we're gonna do the best we can. Rest in peace. What was the goat's name?
Krusty.
Rest in peace, Krusty.
Yeah.
You were loved. You
He
made an
was.
impact on the world.
He did. He was a very important part of our outdoor homesteading lifestyle, and he will be missed. And,
He will be missed.
yeah, he will be. Rest in peace,
Sending,
buddy.
this show's dedicated to Krusty. I'm Sam Tripoli. This is the Wizard Midnight Mike. This is Doom Scrolling. We're in to win it. Stay to the end because we got crazy videos for you. They must be seen. With that said, shall we spin the wheel of doom?
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we got to do the Wheel of Doom. Let me just bring up and remind everyone of our score last time.
Oh my
And-
God! People are like, Sam, how's the scoring going? If I told you to take all the fun out of it, it's like if you're really smart, you could break it down.
And the scoring system is going to advance. People made some good suggestions in the YouTube comments, but our last score for Doomscrolling was 9,059.
Wow!
Which is an all-time high. People have made suggestions about the wheel. They want an identifier on the wheel so people know where the wheel lands. Good idea. I'm going to program that, and I'm going to update the scoring system and the wheel of or the video of the day, all that stuff. We have
The
updates
show
coming.
is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets more educational and it gets more technical. This show always is learning. Okay, that's what we do here. Let's get into it.
We're
go.
trying to get better, and we will get better. So let's
Look at
let's go.
and there it is. The video Folly constantly calling us.
Boy, yeah, got a lot of show titles to get to, people.
Oh, there are
and,
some big scores there. Big scores.
Yep, we can do it. We can rival our last time score easily.
Hey, I also wanted real quick say something. Midnight Mike and I are discussing as the show grows. We might do independent reads for people. If you got a business you want to be advertised on the Wheel of Doom Scrolling, we'll just make it happen.
Yeah,
We'll make it happen. We'll figure out a number. You guys make that number happen, and we'll give you a read here on Doom Scrolling. We're gonna get the ball rolling. We want to help the little guy. We are fighting. We're fighting feudalism here. Okay, we want to help the little people grow their business. So let's get into it.
you help us, we help you, huh? Here we go.
Yeah. Look us help you, help us help you.
Everything always works out in my favor. The universe supports me in every way. I trust that life is unfolding perfectly for me. Good things are always coming my way. Every challenge leads to a greater blessing. Solutions find me effortlessly. My life flows with ease and grace. The best outcomes always manifest for me. I attract positive experiences into my life. My journey is divinely guided and supported. I am always in the right place at the right time. My life is filled with abundance and joy. Everything I need comes to me with perfect timing. I am surrounded by love and light. I trust the process of life completely. The universe always provides for my highest good. Everything I desire is making its way to me. I am aligned with the energy of success.
Sounds logical, doesn't it?
Yeah, does
That
to
was
me.
a
Oh,
very
David
positive
Alcott.
way to go.
Way to kick it off. Sometimes the Wheel of Doom wants kicking the door, blazing the 4-4. Sometimes he just wants to let us know it's going to be okay.
I like that. It's a good message for us to start off on a positive note after the morbid news of a goat dying. But oftentimes when I hear that message, I wonder if people in Iran tell themselves that. Maybe. I would hope so.
Good point.
I don't know.
That
It's
gets into
different
my
for
theory
everyone.
that we live in a haunted house,
Yeah.
and some parts are more haunted than the other.
Yeah,
Other
that's a good
parts.
point. I believe that
Real-
is. Iran's haunted.
Let's
Somalia,
go.
very haunted. Here we go.
Very haunted. Always haunted. Haunted.
I think you have intergenerational pools of capital, and right now they are over influenced by occult. So I think you have interdimensional intelligence, which is operating demonic intelligence.
Interdimensional demonic intelligence.
Yeah. So I think this thing about good and evil is real, and I can't find it anymore. I found it once. There were in the 30s, a British physicist got up and said, we are being manipulated from other dimensions by intelligent beings from other dimensions. So I think, if you study Christianity and you read the Bible, you're dealing with both divine intelligence and demonic intelligence. And I think too much of the leadership has gotten deeply involved in the occult and demonic kinds of intelligence.
Hey, I'm just going to tell you, the number one guest I wish to have on Tinfoil Hat is Catherine Austin Fitz. And I know she won't come on it because of the name. It's, she thinks it's goofy. But I love her. I think she's great. And I beg every day. I put it out to the universe. Let this woman come on our show. Let us spread her words.
What she says there, that's been in the conspiracy realm for a long time, and it seems like she's retelling the story. And does that go to like we are ruled by overlords that are reptilian in nature, like the David Icke hypothesis about this reality, or is she talking about just regular old humans that dip into the darker side and possibly use dark magic in order to get the desired outcome that they want, which is full control over the population.
Well, I will tell you, brother, all that falls under fallen angels, in my humble opinion. All of it falls under fallen angels and the watchers who worship them. That's David Icke, and that is Catherine Austin Fitz at the same time. We just want to give a shout out to Harum Downshifting Nelson. Thank you very much, brother. You didn't even want to give a message there. You just want to show love.
Do you think you can trust her, though? I don't want to blow your chances. She was in the Bush administration. She was in the Bush administration. She has some weird connections. Now, it seems like all of a sudden she's being promoted, talking about deep underground military bases, the bunkers for the rich, this occult overlord. It seems like she is repurposing conspiracies that have been in the community since the late 90s, and now she's coming back out, and she has some credibility behind her because of the Bush administration. But is she a mirage man or mirage woman? It's tough to say.
That's a great question, and we have to ask that question. I mean, when you're in a neocon administration, you should be questioned on what it is, and that's all I gotta say about that.
She's fascinating, though. She's definitely fascinating. All right. Let us doom, because that's what we do. Come on. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Here we go.
There we go. Became a YouTube member. Thank you, Kat.
The moment the power goes out, the countdown for your survival begins. No power, no internet, no running water. And here's the terrifying part. It wouldn't just be temporary. In 2021, Texas came within minutes of a total grid collapse. If just a few more power plants had failed, the entire state could have gone dark for months. Now imagine if this happened nationwide. What would actually happen? Within 24 hours, gas stations would run dry, ATMs would shut down, and phone networks would start failing. By day 3, hospitals would lose power, medications would spoil, and panic would set in. Within a week, food supplies would be gone, riots would break out, and sewage systems would start overflowing. And here's the part no one talks about. Once the grid is down, bringing it back isn't as simple as flipping a switch. Power plants need fuel. Fuel needs supply chains. Supply chains need electricity. Without power, everything collapses. If the grid went down today, how long do you think you'd last? Comment below with your plan.
Oh boy. This is
Damn, we opened up with spirituality and now we're deep in it. We're in video 3 has us questioning everything.
This is one of the situations that I ponder at night the most, which is the EMP, or you have a solar flare that just wipes out the grid. There was a great book written about this called 1 Second After, and it was written by like a former military guy, and it was so well written about this small community in, I think, the mountains of North Carolina or Virginia, and how they survived. It's like a town of 5,000 people, and how they managed to survive and what they did right after an EMP attack over the United States. And it was so powerful, it was entered into the congressional record in an effort to get Congress and the Senate to really take our power grid much more serious. And so far, our Congress has done absolutely nothing to address this potential catastrophic failure. It is, you think about this, Sam, and you're in any major city, power out, you probably have 3 days to get where you need to go. After that, it is all bets are off.
I prepare for this. I bought like food that lasts for years. I have tons of it. I bought tons of food. I'm putting that out there. I got lots of guns. When I think something really is about to go down, I'm going to load up on gas, throw the kids in the car, and just make I don't care if I got to drive on people's lawns, through forests. Part of me wants to get a bunch of, dirt bikes, teach kids how to drive it, and we just go trailing to get out. But yeah, I think about it all the time. Time. That's a big reason why I want to get out of LA, but no one will listen to me.
This is like, so this scenario is in my head. So hypothetically, power goes out. Me and my wife are here, but my stepdaughter is about 15, 20 miles away from us. So all cars, you can't use any car unless it was maybe made before 1960. Not many people have those kind of cars around here. So I would have to get a bike and go down there to find my stepdaughter and her boyfriend and try to drag him back through this nightmare scenario with a gun on my hip, just taking the back roads. But I can't carry 2 bikes with me, so we would have to hoof it back and convince them that we have to hike 20 miles nonstop back to the homestead here. It's a nightmare scenario. What I think about this all the time, and it's terrifying. It really is.
I agree, dude. I agree. My kids are about 10 minutes away from me, but like convincing everybody to get in the car is not going to be easy. Real quick, how does the point system work? We've addressed that. If we tell you how the point system works, you're not going to enjoy it. Okay? If you're autistic, figure it out.
Yeah, the points are assigned to videos by a supercomputer behind the scenes, and we get the points. Sometimes they're taken away from us, but we don't know why. Sometimes they are.
We know why they get the points. We can't give away the secret sauce, and then everyone will be doing it.
It's just like
it'll be just ridiculous.
We're collecting money, and sometimes the money gets taken away from us, and we can't.
Hey, Colonel Sanders, tell us what your herbs and spices are. Why would he do that? It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I meant Simply Lou in Florida. You gotta go to Bohemian Grove next time, Midnight Mike. I greeted everybody with hugs. I'm a hugger, dude. I'm a hugger. All right, let's spin.
Let's do it.
The most famous bag in history is going up for auction. This is Jane Birkin's Birkin, the original Birkin. Jane Birkin was an actress and a style icon, and in 1981 she was on a flight. She was putting her iconic wicker basket bag in the overhead, and all of her belongings fell on the person that she was sitting next to, which happened to be Jean-Louis Dumas, the president of Hermes at the time. She told him how frustrated she was that she couldn't find a handbag large enough to fit all her belongings. So he took it upon himself to design her the perfect bag. And in 1985, 4 years later, she got the prototype for this bag, which Dumas ended up naming the Birkin after Jane Birkin. She carried it around daily for almost 10 years. And this is the exact one that's going up for auction. Now, there are no current estimates for the bag, but other notable pieces worn by renowned people have gone for millions. Diana's sweater went for $1.1 million. Kobe Bryant's NBA debut jersey went for $7 million. Now, the bag is actually on display at Sotheby's, New York until June 12th, where you can go and see all the wear, tear, and love Jane Birkin put into it.
Yeah, I'm going to need that bag and Kobe's jersey for the grid down scenario.
Yes, I need that bag to survive the zombie apocalypse. That was definitely our most chick video we've ever done. That one was for the ladies.
Hey, I think that's fascinating. Fashion, we're very fashion forward here at Doomscrollin.
We know we have 0.7% female listeners, so we decided we have to send them something too, so they'll tell their friends to come and watch our show. If they want to be educated, tell your friends, come watch the show.
We have purse videos every now and again.
Yeah, every once in a while we do something that is enjoyable for females.
Every now and again.
Every now and again.
Have you ever wanted to own a creepy Cold War ghost town?
Yes.
Well, you actually can right here in Minnesota. Sitting on top of Lookout Mountain near Finland, Minnesota, there's a massive abandoned radar station built back in 1950 as part of the Air Force's defense network. Its mission? To spot incoming threats and scramble fighter jets out of Duluth. The base shut down in 1989, and since then, nature has totally taken over. It's basically a real-life set from Fallout or The Last of Us. Think overgrown buildings, cracked concrete, and eerie ghost town vibes. Now, this 100-acre property with 43 abandoned homes and 25 garages is for sale for $800,000.
I will buy
Some
it
people
right
say
now.
it's contaminated from its military past, but there's no mention of that on the listing. So there's that. But whether you turn it into a campground, a film set, or just let your imagination run wild, this strange slice of history could be yours. Would you buy something like this?
Yes.
Interested?
Yeah, does it
Let
have
me
a
know.
bunker?
And as always, I'm Darren the Minnesotan, your favorite Twin Cities realtor. I keep up with all things Minnesota, so you don't have to.
This is what I want. This is what I need.
Yeah, this is what I want. This is what I need.
That is a fun compound to start a cult or a doomsday family get together.
I bet you can get it for $600,000. It's been on the market so long.
Yeah.
$500,000. I'll buy it right now. $500,000. Put down a down payment. Make some payments. Go there. If it has a bunker, I'm in. I need a bunker.
And it probably does seem like the kind of place that has multiple bunkers, or at least subterranean environments that you could easily turn into one. It probably does have good plumbing. It would be great if there was some sort of water collection. But man, that is a dynamite place. You go in with some friends. Go in with some friends, family, buy it. And it's a great opportunity. Was that Minnesota?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we got to look into that, man.
Okay.
If it has a bunker, I am in, man.
Yeah,
let's
not a bad
go.
idea. Not a bad idea. And then when we're not using it, Airbnb it.
Yeah. Who wants to live in a Fallout bunker?
I think you could rent that out to like a bunch of like paintball teams, and it would be great. And they would have a blast to Airbnb that. Like,
yeah, let's go, dude.
Obstacle
Sounds
courses.
like we got business ideas coming.
We're gonna do that business right after this next video. Yes,
Let's
we go.
The miracle of the resurrection then becomes kind of the most important thing about Jesus. From my perspective, and it's a little bit of a Baha'i perspective, the resurrection of Jesus is one of the least important things about Jesus. What's important about Jesus is what he said and how he lived.
How did he live? Living a sinless life, doing miracles, raising the dead, healing, casting out demons, fulfilling prophecies maybe. They like to pick and choose what aspects of Jesus and recreate Jesus in the image of their movement according to Baha'u'llah's authority. And that's 100% what he's doing here. The resurrection is the big thing that made Jesus unique. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15:17, if Christ is not raised, our faith is in vain. So he definitely gives that as a verifiable test, a falsifiable test, verifiable and falsifiable test of who Christ was and his mission.
Yeah. I mean, God was great. I love him. I'm not into organized religion, Mike, but I love me some Jesus.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by churches here in Farm County, farmland, and I grew up with church. I have nothing against people who go to church, have faith. It's just I think I got burnt out on church. I don't know if I'm of faith. I'm spiritual. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I don't know what that means. I think I'm just I observe. I'm an observer, but yeah, I can't do the church thing anymore.
Yeah, I get you a lot. I think that's done on purpose. All this stuff that, because I'm a little older than you, I believe. And, there was a lot of time where the church got bad press. And I think that was done on purpose to detach people from Jesus, from God, from spirituality. And you kind of got to look into that.
Yeah. My brother-in-law,
to separate the...
my brother-in-law from Mexico, hardcore Catholic. He doesn't even go to church anymore because so many bad things have happened. And so if you lose like a hardcore Catholic from Mexico, you're losing people. You really are.
Yeah. So I've heard that the churches are starting to fill up again. That everyone's kind of over this progressiveness now, and they're ready to get back to it because they want community.
Well, that is true. Especially there's a particular church in England that was having trouble getting more people into the congregation. So they decided to combine pro wrestling with sermons. And so they have people wrestling, going off the top turnbuckle, dropping legs, all that stuff during church. And then in between matches, they give like a sermon, they give a life lesson, they talk about the Bible. And so far, they have increased their congregation like tenfold. People love it. It sounds bizarre. It does, but it's working.
Let's do it.
Nope, I'm in, dude. I am in.
Yeah.
I am in 100%. I would definitely go to pro wrestling church.
All right, just spin this
But
wheel
do you have to fight at least one time?
I think that's implied when you walk through the doors.
Oh, you got okay. I'm in. I did wrestling one time. Almost broke my jaw. People like it's fake. Well, my jaw didn't think it was fake.
Well, after these 3 commandments, we're going to spin the wheel right here. This is Hulk.
Spin the
three
wheel.
commandments for a foundation, the training, the prayers, the vitamins, brother.
While exploring Google Earth, I stumbled upon something truly bizarre. It was a strange white structure perched on the summit of an isolated mountain. It looks man-made, but I have no idea what it could be. And what makes it even stranger is the fact that it is found in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the thick jungles of Sri Lanka, with no record of any sort of trail or path leading to it. So what could this structure be, and why was it built in such an isolated place? I decided to go find out for myself, so headed out on an adventure to try reach this mysterious site in person. But this turned out to be a crazy adventure that truly tested my limits and led to some insane discoveries. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. My adventure began with a bumpy 2-hour tuk-tuk ride, which took me deep into the remote countryside of Sri Lanka and towards the isolated mountain I would need to summit. But as I got closer, the road soon ran out, and so it was time to continue the journey on foot.
Yeah, safety.
See ya.
See you.
All the best.
White people.
All right, guys. I've
Uber.
just been dropped off in a super remote part of Sri Lanka. And as you can see, I'm at the base of a mountain in the middle of a rainforest. And yeah, I am really super duper remote. It's going to be an epic but crazy adventure.
Yeah. Has anyone heard from that guy since?
This is part 1. We don't even know if there's a part 2.
Yeah.
Going,
we
like,
have to find part 2.
For people listening at home, what he was walking to was this UFO-like structure on the tippy top of this mountain. And he's just, going to go there and knock? And hopefully someone answers and doesn't get shot?
Yeah, but you know what else is crazy about it? It's on like the side of a mountain. It's like almost like a tick almost in a weird way.
It is.
Where it's like, it's not a flat, it's like on the side of a mountain.
It doesn't look very like structurally sound. But I would love to see if, one, he died, or if he got to the destination and discovered that it was something spectacular, mysterious. It's probably, I'm going to guess, it's probably some sort of weather station. Weather people do goofy stuff like this all the time. They'll put structures up in weird places and to measure rainfall or, wind. They love to measure wind. And so it's probably something like that.
What if
I'm
it's
guessing.
just like an in and out, and he's like, dude, you went this far for this? It's like literally a Jamba Juice.
It's just a post office.
Yeah, it's just a post office. There's some natives around here. Real quick. Levi Collins 80. To my brother in recovery, could the atomic bomb testing be the cause of the Old Testament acts of God since there's no timelines on atomic level? Dude, asking the questions. That's a great. I mean, if you take a look at it, and this is Sam speaking, I'm not a nuclear bomb guy. I at least back in World War II, I don't believe that stuff. But after the bomb dropped, some weird stuff started happening. Aliens started showing up, all that stuff. So I'm not against that idea.
Yeah, it's indisputable. As soon as we started doing crazy, bizarre scientific stuff, these crafts started to really making themselves a little bit more well known to us, at least according to modern narratives. So
yeah, it's very weird, dude. A very interesting wheel today. We're getting everything here.
Yeah, we are. And
we got it.
We're already up to 2,310 points. Yeah, that's a nice score.
That is insane, and we're only a third of the way there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big.
I'm
impressed.
impressed.
A big score. It's a huge score.
Here we go, big score. And we're going to add more points.
Why do you think our brain releases DMT when we die? Isn't that an interesting coincidence? That's not a coincidence. That's a corroboration of more. The fact that our brains designed themselves through evolution to release the most potent psychedelic molecule in existence into our brain at the moment we die. So what I'm guaranteed is like an insanely epic trip, right as I'm dying, like total ego dissolve and just like you melt into the soul completely. That's what I'm afraid of happening. All we know about death is that you're going to do DMT before it. So maybe it's not something that you need to be afraid of. Imagine that you have been freaking out about death your whole life, and then you get there and it's like the sickest psychedelic experience ever, and you remember that it was you the whole time and you were just playing a game, but the game is so immense that it allows you to completely forget that you're playing it for the purpose of anything you want, for fun, for evolution, for playing around and creating and moving the energy of the universe around. That's what you all have the ability to do. We all can feel that fundamentally because it's who we are fundamentally. Most of us are so anti-feeling that we don't even actually consider that even. We don't even consider, we get so wrapped up in this iteration that we forget it's only the one of infinity.
And these people were all doing drugs.
I mean, the DMT thing with death, I mean, obviously that's proven. The DMT realm, I'm looking to go there. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea.
Are you going to trip balls? Are you going to go for it?
I'm trying. I'm thinking about tripping balls a little bit. And
I would love that for you.
I did this whole segment on the OBDM podcast, my podcast, thank you, where I explored and talked about all the different DMT entities that people have encountered when they go over there. And it ranges from, obviously everyone knows about the machine elves. Then there are the grays. There are gray aliens over there. There are mantis people. There are lizard
mantis
people.
Mantis people? Like praying mantis people?
Yes, exactly. And there is a disturbing parallel between the entities encountered over there versus what people encounter during UFO abductions. And oftentimes, people have trouble deciding, are they tripping or are they part of a UFO abduction? Now, not a lot of these interactions.
When they die, they think they might be getting abducted?
Well, when they're doing a DMT trip, they will experience a abduction scenario. But when it comes to near-death experiences, there are some times when people approach a landed UFO, they will have a near-death experience. They'll see dead loved ones. They'll see the tunnel of light. They'll experience all the similar features and attributes of a near-death experience when they approach a UFO. And when they leave, it all goes away. And so there's some connection between these craft and the aliens, DMT, and death. and it's a bizarre connection. And I don't think we really have. We have all the pieces. We haven't put them together to figure out the puzzle yet.
DMT, aliens, and death. Oh my! Real quick before you hit it, we forgot to. We normally do where they can find us. I have some people in somebody actually spelled it wrong, but the lovely and attractive Fenderlin. Where can I find the OBD? It's supposed to be M podcast.
You can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com, or go on to YouTube and search OBDM videos. We don't post a lot to YouTube. I try, but mostly Rumble, and the website has all the content and links to the podcast.
Yeah, man, check that out. And if you just go to samtripoli.com, you can get all my dates there. Where I'm going to be July the 17th to the 19th. I'm going to be in San Diego. Then I got dates coming up all over the place. Kansas City, Broadbrook, Boston. And yeah, there we go. Tulsa, Oklahoma, New Orleans. So go check that out. And thank you for asking, guys. We appreciate you. Oops, sorry, dude. There we go. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It was mighty polite for asking. Here we go. We're spinning the wheel.
I had to read the article 3 times to make sure that I wasn't seeing things, that I wasn't taking anything out of context. Top executives from OpenAI, Meta, and Palantir, CTOs, CPOs of the biggest tech companies in the world were sworn into the U.S. military, not as advisors, as lieutenant colonels in the Army Reserve. What? Since when did unelected billionaires become military officers without boot camp or vetting by the public? When did we give the people who are in control of our data and digital lives military rank? This is some sci-fi dystopian shit, right? Like, this is real. This is real. This new unit just opened the door for big tech to directly control military innovation. AI, surveillance, cyber weapons, autonomous drones. You think this is about advising? No? Wake up. Are you guys comfortable with the merging Silicon Valley with the US military? We're watching the government hand over the keys of national defense over to the same people building AI that can manipulate elections. They censor speech, as we know, and track every single thing you do online and profit off your personal life. This is not protecting America. This is securing control. If you're still out there defending this administration like they're the adults in the room, it's time for you to look around, because this is not normal. Just think about it. If big tech and the military are one of the same, who's left to protect us from them? We are in trouble.
Oh, well. Appreciate her enthusiasm. It was very cute when she swore. Yeah, I mean, if you follow any of our podcasts, this has been going on forever. And that's it. And, my whole opinion is this, and I'd love to hear your opinion, Midnight. I personally believe that it's not really the data that's the big problem. The data is the problem. But people are like, oh, they're going to hack you. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. I think the problem will be like, once they figure out they got something on you, they're going to set you up, and then they're going to blackmail you on that. And that's how it's done. Because if they come out and say, hey, we heard them say this on his phone, or we saw him on Cornhub watching this, they're going to burn those avenues. So they have to, do you know what I'm saying? They have to kind of work through it and set you up for all that stuff. That's my opinion.
What you stated, like if these people were really deputized, I should say, to be conscripted into the military or just placed in there, that's very concerning. I'd like to know the reason. I'll look into and figure out the reason. But yeah, The data, you're right, is not so much the issue, is the correlation of the data. And once they can get a couple different hits on you, it's like, okay, Mike went to Walmart, but he also bought these chemicals. And by the way, Mike talks to Sam. And that might not be enough, but they could possibly inject some extra data in there that would make the correlation.
I never thought about that, yeah.
And so that's what they're really trying to do with Palantir, is to correlate these different data sets together to create a profile on people, and then they're going to give you a risk point system. Oh, it's like, oh, Mike's, he's like 50 point. He's risky, but he's not that risky. Alex Jones, he is like 99 on the risk scale, and that's what they want, I believe. And then they'll assign social credit scores to that. As for these guys, like they want to ultimately rule us. They want some kind of technocracy, and they feel as though they can rule over you better than previous rulers. They think they have a right to rule because of their intelligence. We will see.
It's very interesting to me, for sure, all of it. You're totally right about that. Monica Perez has talked about, the Alex Jones and the Candace Parkers and all them, and that their job is to make people think it's okay to talk about this stuff, and that they're going to go after the other people.
I can see that. Like online anonymity is gone. Like, it doesn't matter if you use a VPN or not. They know who you are.
Yeah,
within 14 clicks of your computer. Most people do the same operations. They go to the same websites. They click on the same things. So they have it down. Doesn't matter if you use a VPN or not. They know who you are already. They're just trying to gauge. They're trying to get a more a full, robust profile of you, which they already can get from Facebook and X.
Yeah.
They know who everyone is.
Yeah, it's very weird that they can figure out what you're going to do. Pre-crime, as somebody said in the comment section.
Yeah.
All right, we're up to almost 3,000 points. I feel like we're now a little bit behind from yesterday. We may not break the high score.
Yeah, it does feel like we're lagging a little bit. We need a big win here. We need some big scores.
We need a big score.
Get ready, Californians. $8 a gallon gasoline is on its way. I'm here at the Valero Refinery in Benicia, California, one of the state's most important energy suppliers. Because of Newsom's war on fuel producers, this refinery is closing down and taking the good-paying jobs and our fuel supply with it. It's not just Valero. Phillips 66 is also shutting down a refinery soon as well. Together, these two refineries account for about 20% of our fuel production in California. Basic economics tells us when supply goes down, prices go up. USC professor Michael Mache predicts that fuel prices in California could go up to $8.43 a gallon by the end of 2026. I'm calling on Gavin Newsom to work with me and others to save these refineries. And no surprise, I've received no response from him yet. We will keep fighting to protect these refineries, so follow me for updates and all things California.
That's Senator Brian Jones. Guys, if you want to know who the content creator is, we've put their Twitter, or these mostly Instagram handles at the bottom of the video. You can stop the video, write it down. You'll find out who put that out. So make sure you do that. And Gavin Newsom is just a tool of the elites who want to turn California into a feudal system of super beyond rich and super beyond poor. That's what they want.
It's like there's two styles of authoritarianism we have to pick from. It's the technocrats like Palantir and the Silicon Valley boys, or we have people like Gavin Newsom who want the more China style of ruling over you. Those are the flavors we got right now. And either side, I don't know which one I'd rather have. I have no idea. How do I want to be ruled? I don't know.
We want to give a shout out to the two people watching on Kick right now. We actually have some people watching there. Thank you, two people. We love you.
Give them a little kick over there.
A little kick. Get it going. The #1 most educational show on the internet. Let's spin the wheel.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay, we did a nice little jump right there. We're over 3,000, but we're against it.
This is the man with the strongest grip in the world. Yves Scrivell holds multiple grip and strength world records, and it's not just in his own weight class. He has beaten some of the strongest and heaviest guys in the world, and not to mention, he's a professional V15 climber. Now, Yves has a full climbing gym in his basement with a wall of grippers, weights, and of course, trophies. I mean, this guy will casually warm up with one-arm hangs, which is what Yves calls them, but looking closer, it looks like more of a finger hang. He will then just add weights to these hangs without even thinking about it. Yves' favorite grip workout is the lift that imitates the Thomas Inch dumbbell, and by the way, Yves is the lightest man in the world to ever do this. This guy's hand strength is just wild. He can hang off of a 1/8 inch edge, which is pretty much not even an edge to grip. Yves has never bench pressed before, but he can strict curl more than his body weight, and in this video, he legit broke his own world record without knowing, and 2 weight classes above him during this lift. That was 120 kilograms or 264 pounds. This guy's got so many world records, he literally can't keep track of his own. This level of strength is absolutely wild. I cannot imagine having that strong of a grip.
The dude's like a superhero. He's grab man.
Yeah, dude, all those guys are like arm wrestlers, bowlers, and rock climbers. They have these crazy grips and these crazy Popeye arms. That guy's Popeye arms.
You know, some people are just their bodies they're predisposed to being just kind of bulky and muscular, and they're just naturally strong. This guy's just like genetically built this way, just to go around and grabbing things. He loves to grab things, and he's turned it into some world records for himself. So congratulations.
Unbelievable. And they're world records and stuff. It's weird when you have a world record in something that no one else does.
Yeah.
Like we could do something. We could break a record for most videos, most educational videos ever played in 1 hour and a half.
Well, I think we already got a world record on the Wheel of Doom last episode. We got like over 9,000 points. That's a world record.
They're afraid to print a Guinness Book of World Records because we're constantly breaking it. They're like, why put out a new one when we know next week you're going to break it?
Like half the book will be dedicated to you guys. This is ridiculous. Yeah. But we'll do it. Here we go.
That was a big one, too. That got us over, I think it was like 4,400 points.
Here we go. We're at 3,600 people.
I used to be a big space guy. I used to be really into it. And then I just realized that it was all ritual, basically. Ritual and missile testing and propaganda for the whole idea of everlasting technological progress, which we're now realizing is a myth. We're really coming up against the end of it. All these quote-unquote space programs, you make absolute almost trillionaires out of people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. And like, what's the payback? Well, they've got to perform the rituals, you know? I mean, NASA isn't very good at it anymore, so you need some young, technologically savvy upstarts to perform the obligations to the sky gods. And to most people, that sounds absolutely insane until you really start to break down the symbolism and the timing. You know, you talked about the day after Palm Sunday. Musk has been doing stuff on the cross-quarter days. The whole thing, it's all a big show.
Christopher Knowles is amazing, and I'm going to say something right now. I'm going to call it video of the day so far. Video of the day.
Oh, video of the day. Here we go.
I'm going to go with video of the day. Anytime we get Christopher Knowles and Greg Carwood on the show.
Absolutely.
I think that's video of the day.
Video of the day. Great job, guys.
I am not getting drafted. I'm fat with tits.
We got video proof that you're getting drafted.
Video of the day. Congratulations, Greg Carwood, on video of the day.
Oh, I mean now Greg's on video and on YouTube. He's got a studio set up. He's going to the next level.
He's going hard in the paint, dude.
Yeah.
He's going hard in the paint, and we like it, and we love it. All right, next video. Let's go. What's our score, by the way? Oh, wow.
3,700.
The demons today are the disembodied spirits of those Nephilim, those that were killed off in the flood, and by even David and by Joshua and Caleb, all these remnant Nephilim, that their disembodied spirits cannot ascend into heaven, and they don't descend until judgment. So they're trapped here on the earth, and what they want to do is repossess a body, and they want to torment man. They hunger, but they can't be satiated, and they dedicate their existence to our demise, our torment, and those are the demons. And if you would look at it as the enemy, right? If you put it in that context. So in Genesis, you have the Nephilim, and they are against man and all of God's creation, right? God wipes them out. They're on the earth after the flood. So they're still the enemy. You'll see it in the promised land. The Nephilim are there. It goes on further. But when you go into the New Testament, who is the enemy? It's demons. It's the same bad guy. And it just goes throughout the entire Bible from one end to the other. It's the same bad guy. And it will be until the day of judgment.
Yeah, dude. That's a great video, too. Tony Merkel, the Confessional Podcast, doing great work. Shout out to him and his wife. And we love them very much. And yeah, dude. I mean,
these demons got to live somewhere, right?
They got to live somewhere.
They just don't go away. And I know you're a big fan of the AI may house demonic presence.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
I came up with a different concept. I'm going to talk about it on tomorrow's Obedient podcast. But you know what a Tulpa is?
No, what is a Tulpa?
A Tulpa is a Buddhist concept where if you focus all your attention and energy for like through meditative practices, you can produce a thought form that becomes physical in our reality. So if you focus for like 7 months on the thought form or the idea of like creating another Buddhist monk, well, it'll pop out of your consciousness and become real in this reality. Now you have to, as a trained Buddhist, you have to reabsorb that, but there are stories of these Tulpas just roaming around and then going ahead and just interacting with our reality, and they're very parasitic. They are not very well adjusted. It's just as if you gave birth to a well-formed 30-year-old who has never been raised from birth. They just exist out of your mind. It's kind of like manifestation.
No, I totally believe it. What's that called? An allegor?
Yeah.
In a weird way?
Yeah. So there's like, or golem, there's like a bunch of different words for this kind of thing. But I think when people start using these chatbots and becoming emotionally involved, focusing all their time and attention on these chatbots, it's going to spontaneously create tulpas all over the place as people turn to AI for their love and attention and everything like that. It's gonna there's gonna be like some kind of spontaneous spawning of these tulpas, and then demons can inhabit those if they want.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're gonna have a bunch of tulpas running everywhere.
Yep.
Homunculuses. Hold on. Philip Mason. Hey guys, love the show. Thank you, Philip. We love you too. Go for it. Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
I like that idea, dude.
When I say I don't believe in dinosaurs, it's the story that goes behind the dinosaur. That's the important part about it. What this is a placeholder for evolution. It's a way to dismiss the true history and dismiss all mythology as just fiction. So they say dragons not real, even though they're wrote about, they're in the Chinese zodiac. There's ways to make them into medicine. And there's just countless iconography and cultural references all over the place. And they're also trying to say, nope, that's definitely not a giant human's femur. That's got to be some kind of weird lizard. That's why I just push back. And that's why I just say the whole concept of a dinosaur is basically it's your evolutionary placeholder. Oh, well, if this earth is this old, so it's got to have some creatures that lived here. And then so the idea that you have these gigantic lizards that dominated the earth until some kind of cataclysm happened. It's like, that is fantasy. There is no science behind that whatsoever. So if you said that, yes, the bones that they try to say are dinosaurs are real.
Yeah, that's what they are real.
But they are wrong about what they were.
Dragons.
Dragons are in the Bible, dude. Dragons are in the Bible. Dinosaurs are not. That's what I believe. I believe they're Nephilims. Dragons, Nephilims, all that stuff. That's why all the bones in a museum aren't real bones. They're plaster. It's all about detaching you from God.
I love the idea that dragons once roamed and maybe still roam and fly in this world. It's a fascinating idea.
I agree, dude. I agree.
We're up to 4,500
That was JT
points.
loves JC. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Who was that?
JT Loves JC content creator. Again, all you gotta do is freeze the video, and the name of who put it out is right there at the bottom in big text, so you can follow all these people.
My route was being able to get by anything. Like, you got to be able to invade anything and be able to familiarize yourself and be understanding of how to navigate and get past people's weaknesses or things' weaknesses. Like, you want to train how to do infiltration and exfiltration with targets, hardened targets. You're going to have to learn how to get by guard dogs, physical guard dogs, wolf kind. You know, and then you're going to have to learn how to get by stuff. They have a warlock that sits in this estate, and they do ritual magic to do all these spells and incantations. You need to know how to get through that. You get training by getting exposed to all these different variables so that you can be able to pierce through no matter what it is and eliminate somebody or plant something. It wasn't always just like assassination. That was an aspect of it, but a lot of it is counter espionage and espionage. You're setting people up, right? Or you're trying to extract something. Like, there's this project we'll have to get into more. It's called the Jason Project, which is a secret scientific military group that's now more publicly known. It's a consulting group for the smartest people in the entire world, but they had children. And so they started this junior Jason program where they're like, we should all breed together, you know, and have these really super high intelligent children. Well, then they could be great spies. And so that's where you get into espionage as a major tacit of this. That is, they get interlocked so heavily, and you start to figure out that the vast majority of the people behind the scenes are not just connected to these religious orders, they're connected to the government. And these are, a lot of them are State Department employees. And this is how the United States military and government regulates and controls assets out of containment. People that are not doing what they're supposed to, that have information they shouldn't have, and they need to be eliminated, or you need to extract a piece of information from them. And so that's what really launched me into that realm. That was when I chose more of it. I want to not be in this cult side. It's not like that was respected, but it was acknowledged. And I got opportunities to do the side of it that I thought was high speed and low drag and looked way more freeing, which was the modern American soldier. I wanted that route, but you're designed to basically always be a spy, and that you're going to feed back the family what you want. And if you're going to be put in a position, we'll open the doors for you. And that's where all of that really was birthed out of, was there in the White Mountains. And then once that decision was made, my great grandfather was brought back to our house in Colorado. He was located there. My father signed me over to him. He got bedtime rights with me at night.
That's sick.
For a few years until he was too sick to do anything about it. And my dad got access to the trust fund. And that was when everything went from like surface level, poor, middle class American to like plane, new car, houses, bed and breakfasts. Like my family became wealthy, and I got thrown from freak show level werewolf Psychoville down in Arizona into the big city of Colorado Springs, which was military gods. You know, like military, it is the capital of the New World Order. It's Denver, the Front Range of Colorado is 100% the place where the capital has been built and the infrastructure was laid. And so I got put into the military side of the projects there when I was a young teen.
Wow. Holy moly.
That's a lot. That's a confessional podcast. Again, Tony Merkel making it twice.
Wow. I mean,
two good
heavy
videos.
clip. Heavy clip. Holy moly.
Whew.
Okay.
Some people aren't believing it. I say, why not? I mean, I believe Bloodlines, I think, again, we go to data. They're constantly doing data on their children. Who's a psychopath? Who's super smart? Who's a super smart psychopath? And that's how they pick who they push forward. I guarantee you they did that with Jeff Bezos. I guarantee you they did that with Elon Musk. I guarantee you they did that with Bill Gates. All of them are LARPs playing a role.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are saying, "Hey, this is BS" or something like that. For people listening home, who we just saw, he did look like a hippie, big beard, long hair, and it's just a fascinating story. Obviously, what he said can't be corroborated, but some of the stuff is, factual, and so maybe mixing a lot of different elements there. But fascinating story.
I think it's interesting. People torment children. It makes me sad.
All this information is worth considering.
We're killing it. I mean, we're gonna have to have a real run here at the end.
I know.
To even come close to that score.
Here we go.
Real run.
This is the scandal that Nike never wanted to go public. Let me explain. So, there was this 19-year-old kid that claimed to be making upwards of $500,000 a month reselling sneakers. And we're not talking about a few hundred pairs here, we're talking about warehouses full. And sometimes he had these months early before they even came out. And after these images surfaced online of this young kid running this multi-million-dollar business, he caught the eye of Bloomberg Business Magazine. And basically, they wanted to investigate who this young entrepreneur was and how he was able to build this resell empire. And of course, in this interview, there was a lot of questions. This kid's name was Joe Hebert, or A-Bear, some people say is how you pronounce it, I don't know. And this interviewer wanted to fact check him. So Joe gave over the name and the receipts on this Amex card, which happened to be under his mom's name, which no big deal, right? Well, after this article dropped, the internet did what the internet does. They put it together instantly that Joe's mother was the vice president of Nike, as well as the head general manager of North America. And they claimed that she was directly feeding this resell business. Within a few days after this article dropping, she resigned, as well as selling her house. And Nike came out and claimed that she had no idea about her son's resell business and that she didn't break any rules. She worked at Nike for over 25 years and never did anything wrong. Well, people started to notice that these pictures were taken at the house that she just sold. And I'm sure it's hard to miss thousands and thousands of pairs of Jordans on your back porch and front doorstep. But it's just crazy that Nike claims that they're fighting resellers and fighting off bots, while at the same time, this vice president was cashing in on her son's resell business.
This is the story of your ego is not your amigo. If you're doing something that could get a family member in trouble, why would you do the article?
Yeah.
Why would you do the interview? Why would your mom let you do the interview? Unless Nike's in on it, somehow it's like, let's just control the resale market and flood it with our stuff so that we can control it.
That makes the most sense. As a business, like, you want to control that secondary market, and so you'll just do it off books, and maybe she got a little extra kickback for it, but this kid, he wants to be famous. Like, he wants to be the big man, and he did not know how to check his ego. You're right. Man,
it's crazy to me, dude. I mean, like, why would you do that interview? If you know there's, like, something that could get you in trouble and get your mom in trouble, why would you agree to the interview?
You know your mom's name is on the card. Like,
it's so crazy. And why would you show them your mom's card? These kids are dumb. I have a daughter. All I tell her is figure it out. Problem solve. Don't ask your dad to solve everything for you. I won't do it. Figure it out. Figure it out.
Now this guy figured it out the wrong way. But here we go. We're gonna doom. Here we go, people.
So strap yourself in. Imagine a mysterious metallic sphere crashing from the sky. Is it alien tech or just a cosmic hoax? On March 2nd, 2025, the small town of Buga, Colombia, became the center of a global UFO mystery. Locals filmed a silver orb zigzagging through the air, defying all known aircraft movements, before it slammed into a power line and landed in a field. Scientists rushed to study it, and what they found is mind-blowing. X-rays revealed no welds, no joints. Just a seamless design with 18 tiny microspheres circling a core they're calling a chip. Some claim it's etched with alien symbols decoded by AI to say, the origin of birth through union and energy, a message for humanity. But skeptics like Dr. Julia Mossbridge warn it could just be an elaborate art project. Then things got weirder. The sphere started gaining weight, 5 times heavier than when it landed, and a nearby field mysteriously dried up. Is this proof of extraterrestrial life? Or are we falling for another UFO tale? Comment your thoughts, alien or hoax. Hit that like button, share with your friends, and save this video to stay updated.
Okay, so this scientist, her theory is it's just an art project. Not a government project, but an art project.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of videos floating around online of this thing. There's like multiple different spheres. It's doing some pretty interesting maneuvers. It could be a drone. The one that got captured does have interesting etchings in it, but it doesn't look like what you would expect. It looks like the etchings are kind of rough, like someone just did it with a Dremel themselves, not like clean cut, like laser engraved. They've done like X-ray scans on it, like electron microscope. You have Dr. Stephen Greer going down there. You got all the big UFOs guys going down there giving presentations. So it's a very divisive event and current structure in the UFO community. I don't know how I feel about it. It's very.
I'm not buying it. Well, my whole thing is like, okay, so we're going to say this is alien technology. This alien technology comes from another dimension or billions of miles away, and then it runs into a high wire and it crashes. I mean, it makes no sense. None of it makes sense.
These things crash all the time.
Oopsie daisy.
Oopsie daisy. Oh man, we have technology so advanced we can go billions of miles, but your jet fighter can knock us out. Come on, man. They think we're dumb.
Yeah, I'm not really buying this, but
I'm not buying it at all, dude. Not buying it.
Some people like it. I don't know. It's an interesting story. I'm mindful of it, but that's about it. Here we go. We're gonna do it.
We're 1 hour in.
4,900. Here we go.
We're almost at 5,000.
Do it.
You're not going to believe this, but look it up. This happened. In 1965, a man named Angus Barberi checked himself into the hospital. He weighed 456 pounds, and he decided to stop eating. Not just for 40 hours, not even just for 40 days. He fasted for over a year.
What?
382 days straight. No food, just water, black coffee, and electrolytes. And he walked out of that hospital a new man, 180 pounds. He lost 276 pounds, all without surgery, all without pills, all without a workout plan. But this is the part that blows people's mind. He didn't have all that loose, saggy skin from all the weight loss.
how?
You know that look after massive weight loss, all that extra skin that just hangs around. But not for this guy. And he's not the only one. Dr. Jason Fung, one of the world's leading experts when it comes to fasting, also noticed this. He had patient after patient losing lots of weight, 120, 130, 150 pounds, and not one of them was sent for skin removal surgery. Why? Because of something called autophagy, your body's built-in recycling system. When you fast, your body doesn't just burn fat. It starts harvesting and reusing damaged proteins, including excess skin. It's not magic, it's biology. And that's one of the main reasons why I do a 96-hour fast twice per year on top of regular intermittent fasting. It's not just for weight loss or weight control. It's for metabolic health, mental clarity, and longevity. And yes, your skin actually tightens as the fat melts away. Makes you wonder why your doctors never prescribe this.
Fuck, I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. Good luck. Good luck getting your doctor to recommend some homeopathic stuff. Never. It will never happen.
You still fast?
I know. I'm gonna get. That just inspired me to lose my tits.
I just got
can't
off
go
of fast.
Oh, how long?
Just 24, just a day. Just doing bone broth, and so I'm gonna try to do that once or twice a week. But 96 hour, oh my god,
96 hours is so long. It is so long. I mean, I gotta get back to it. I get hangry, hungry, but I gotta get it going, guys. Xavier Guerrero's here from the #1 podcast on planet Earth. Check out the #1 podcast out there. I don't even know what the name of it is. Just put in the #1 podcast.
I saw X on Instagram saying that. I believe him.
I believe it too. It's the #1 podcast.
There's no
Here
way
we go,
you can
dude.
dispute that.
Did we get any? Oh yeah, we got some points. We didn't get a lot of points on that one, and that was a great one.
I know, it was really
72
nice.
hours, just like that's a lot.
So you better hang on.
Well, it looks like someone's been binge watching Ozark. You guys, listen to this. A Utah couple, James and Kelly Jensen, along with their 2 sons, Maxwell and Zachary, have been arrested and federally indicted for allegedly smuggling approximately $300 million worth of crude oil from Mexico into the United States, operating through their Texas-based company, Arroyo Terminals. They are accused of orchestrating 2,881 illegal shipments since May 2022, disguising the crude oil as a waste lube or petroleum distillates using falsified custom documents. The U.S. District Court has ordered the forfeiture of all of their assets totaling over $300 million, including their company, bank accounts, vehicles, and properties in Sandy and Draper, Utah. And you guys, they were living high. Oh my goodness. James and Kelly Jensen were arrested at their 26,000 square foot mansion in Sandy, Utah. Court hearings are scheduled for May 8th in Brownsville, Texas. Now, I don't know if you watched Ozark, but I don't know if this is looking good for them, whether they're going to jail or the cartel is going to get to them first.
I mean, when you're doing that kind of weight, you have to be like, they're going to find out.
Yeah. You would imagine. And then you'd have to have a backup plan, or you got to have a really good lawyer on retainer. And this is all going to be taken care of. You got to buy off the judge, send the judge on vacation, early retirement, have him go down to Costa Rica and live a nice life, and then you just skip town.
It is crazy what happens in Utah. It is crazy. There's so much crazy shit going on with the Mormons. Like, dude, you put some magical underpants on someone, some crimes are going to get committed.
And not to mention the Utah Basin, all the UFO sightings, the crypto paranormal stuff, and in the mountains there. It's a crazy, crazy state.
It is a crazy state. And they're like, we're going to live in this big mansion and no one's going to know we're committing illegal crimes. Dude, if you live in a big mansion committing illegal crimes, just know you're staying there temporary. It is basically an Airbnb at this point.
They're kind of like that kid reselling the shoes. They wanted to live the life. They wanted the notoriety. They wanted a life of luxury, and they just keep it low key. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. Crazy times, bro. Crazy times.
All right, 5,400 people. Here we go.
So brace yourself.
Here's the news, McKay. 3 Boeing 747 cargo planes took off from China and vanished from radar just before entering Iranian airspace, McKay. Their flight plans said Luxembourg, but none landed in Europe. Kinda like telling your mom you're at Josh's house, but Josh doesn't exist, McKay. Experts say these jumbo jets usually carry military or heavy cargo, and the timing right after Israeli strikes sparked suspicion of covert weapons support to Iran. No proof, but it's got global eyebrows raised higher than The Rock in a shampoo commercial, McKay. Meanwhile, Iran shut down almost all internet, about 97% offline. Officials blamed cyber threats and public panic, but it meant no tweets, no text, no streaming, basically a digital blackout, McKay. Then Starlink came online through thousands of smuggled terminals after Elon Musk reactivated access, McKay. It's like underground internet if the underground was in space. While people were hustling for Wi-Fi, Iran's state TV also urged citizens to delete WhatsApp and Instagram, no evidence given, claiming they were tools for Israeli spying, McKay. Ayatollah Khamenei then warned the U.S. that any military involvement would cause irreparable damage. That's diplomatic code for don't touch the thermostat. So yeah, vanishing planes, internet lockdowns, smuggled satellites, and threats of serious fallout. The region's playing live wire chess. One wrong move and sparks fly. Now you're informed, okay?
Dude, these cartoon characters giving us the news is the way to go.
Yeah, it's very Black Mirror. It's very Black Mirror, although it seems like all the information presented was correct. It was just done in a very, South Parkian way.
Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Yeah, dude, this is the weirdest war ever. I've never seen a war before where they tell them where they're going to strike. Hey, by the way, get everybody out of there. We're going to hit here.
It seems like everyone's talking behind the scenes, and this does feel like as though it's like a necessary theater play. That's what it does feel like it, but with real world consequences, people dying and bombs exploding. So it's
okay.
It's a shit show.
It's a shit show.
Here we go. 5,500 points, people.
Okay, we're kind of making a move.
So did you guys hear about the Buga sphere that was discovered in the forest in Colombia? Or were you distracted by all the other headlines like I was? And they use AI to decode the language. Wait till you see what it says. So on Thursday, May 1st, Jose Velasquez is an X-ray specialist, and he did a series of X-rays on this. They claim that this fell after it received a 10,000 volt discharge. Now, they say they are 16 microspheres inside, and there are 3 layers of different densities. This is the most outer edge. So he is saying that that means they are different materials. So they say the dark-toned material is less dense, and they believe that it is possibly a porous material. Now, the people in Buga claim that this was flying around their town back in March, and that it actually was recovered back on March 2nd. And that when they touched it, it had the temperature of a refrigerator. Now, they counted 32 points around the edge, and that the materials used all together for this seem to be different metals, but they have ruled out the fact that this is ornamental because they believe that the way it was built was to definitely house whatever is inside. It seems too intentional to be simply ornamental. Now, the X-ray expert says it appears to have no welds or joints and that this is absolutely different from anything he has ever studied in the past. But the guy who claims to have found it said that he was contacted by the government, but he refused to sign it over because it would never be seen again. So I'm guessing he just turned it over to a team of scientists. But they're saying even in the x-rays, there are no visible signs of any techniques by humans. So interpreting the text through AI, it says the origin of birth through union and energy in the cycle of transformation, meeting point of unity, expansion, and consciousness, individual consciousness. So what do you guys think?
Holy crap, is this the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same Buga sphere, just presented differently. And I could be back on board.
You're back.
I might be back on board right now.
That's crazy, man.
Wow, we made history today. We've never had two videos tell the same story.
Yes, same story, different angles, really. But this one provided much more information, and it really sold it as a legitimate unknown object, and they were really pushing a non-human construction. So maybe I'm back on board now.
We're back. We're in it again. Bang, bang, pow. We're back. Guys, we got about 10 minutes left of the wheel. Can we make a run? It doesn't look good, guys. It does not look good. Sometimes your best isn't good enough. That's what we're going to teach the children.
We still have the golden video available. Maybe we can get on that. We'll see what happens here.
Oh, there's the golden video.
We still have the golden videos left. Come on, golden video. Oh, no.
You are one pathetic loser.
Oh, we hit the video of Folly.
No! It's official. We
went down to 42.56.
Oh, man. The only hope we have is the golden video. That's the only hope we have at this point.
What'd you do?
Man. Why, dude?
Oh,
why?
Disappointed!
All right, we got to do them now. We got to crawl back.
We really got to crawl back.
I opened a video store in Brooklyn. 20 minutes after opening, I had the guy washing my window. And a little ladder came out and I said, how you doing? And he said, hey, Leo, my name is Charlie. I said, how you doing, Charlie? I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm cleaning your window. I said, good, but you didn't ask me. He said, I'm not supposed to ask you. He said, that street will belong to my grandfather. Then is the street belong to my father. Now the street belong to me. I don't need to ask you. I'm coming and I'm washing for $5 a window every week. I said, are you sure I'm the owner? He said, no, it's not up to you. And I tell him, Charlie, take your letter, get out of here before I'm gonna break your legs. And Charlie said, hey, Leo, are you sure? And I said, I'm sure. Get the fuck out of here. Coming next morning, my window is broken. Calling insurance, police, making a report. I'm paying $800 deductible. Insurance paying $1,200. You know, by the middle of the day, they're putting my big window. 15 minutes passing by. Charlie standing with a small ladder and washing my window. I'm come out and I said, Charlie, listen, I'm not born yesterday. I understand the story. I understand the situation. But let me tell you, it's a new sheriff in town. Russians here. And he said, Leo, you don't understand. The street belonged to my grandfather, then to my, now it's mine. You cannot understand it. I said, Charlie, before I'm gonna break your legs, this is the last time I'm telling you. Next time you're gonna be crippled. Charlie said, no problem. Left next morning, I'm coming. Smashed window. Calling police, making a report, paying $800 deductible. Now I'm already $1,600 down the hole. The insurance said that I'm a high risk. They're not gonna insure me any longer. They came, put the window, and 20 minutes later, Charlie standing and washing my window. I couldn't believe this. And I came out already with a baseball bat and I'm aiming and I want to break his legs. And when I'm doing like that, I see 4 guys coming from a kind of like big guys coming to me and say, hey, Leo, why don't you understand that they belong to his grandfather? Now it's Charlie Street. Pay him that $20 a week. I said, what do you mean 20? He said 5. He said, no, 5 it was before. Now it's a 20. That's organized crime. I had that store for 3 years. 3 years I paid $20 a week to clean the window.
You know what? It's not a bad deal. $20
That's
a
not
week.
a bad deal at all, dude. It's like, hey, dude, you can get murdered or pay $20 a week.
Come on. That's for protection. That's not bad. And free window washing at that point. They throw that
dude,
one
I'd
in.
take it. You got a deal, buddy.
Yeah.
You can. You got a deal there, organized crime guy. You got it. Leave me alone. The Russians here now.
Let's
yeah,
do
but
it.
you know, you watch Sopranos, they say don't fuck with the Russians, dude. Don't fuck with the Russians.
Those guys walked right into it. They didn't care.
Yeah, they don't care. Dude.
All right. Let's. What do you say? A couple more spins here.
Yeah, a couple more spins. Let's see if we can get this back up. The golden video is there.
It's right there.
Last week we hit the golden video. It was so close.
Iran is not just about missiles, uranium, or territory. It is part of a grander scripted performance, decades in the making, engineered to fracture global balance and push the world closer to a new order. What you've been shown is a reaction, but the real story lies in who orchestrated the tension and why now. In the last few days, Israel launched a massive preemptive strike on Iranian military and nuclear sites. Dozens of scientists and commanders eliminated, entire facilities destroyed. Iran retaliated with missiles and drones, many intercepted, some causing damage. But this isn't just a regional spat. This was ritual warfare, a pre-chosen point in the timeline where certain chess pieces were moved to provoke a bigger collapse. This strike wasn't sudden. It was scheduled, engineered, permitted. Israel didn't just act out of self-defense. The deeper mission was to disrupt Iran's growing alignment with China, Russia, and the BRICS bloc, sabotage Iran's attempt to shift oil sales away from the US dollar, and send a message to the rest of the Middle East. You either follow the Western system or you burn. Meanwhile, Iran's retaliation wasn't reckless rage. It was a calculated countermove, testing defenses, gauging responses, and showing the world it will not bow without response. The elites need global destabilization to justify centralization. One digital currency, one defense system, one global authority. To birth a new world order, they must first break the old one. What better way than triggering chaos in the most sensitive energy region on Earth, drawing in powers like China, Russia, and NATO into pressure postures, and pushing oil prices sky high, crashing economies, and blaming war instead of manipulation. The Israel-Iran war is the ignition point, not the fire. It's the start of a series of flashpoints coordinated to make the world beg for solutions to the chaos the system created. Will this become WW3? Not immediately. But it could, and that's the plan. Expect more proxy wars, cyber attacks blamed on foreign enemies, food chain disruptions, and emergency summits. The goal, to erode borders, control narratives, and usher in the peacekeeper system, centralized digital authority disguised as safety. This isn't random. It's ritual, and you were never meant to see it unfold. But now you do. And when enough of us wake up, we reclaim our role, not as pawns, but as builders of a new reality rooted in truth, sovereignty, and light. They move in shadows, but you...
Sounds logical, doesn't it? That was a great video, dude. That was a great video. Getting a lot of shit in the comment section, but I love that video because it's so true. Your price of your gas is made up. It's all made up. They'll be like, "Oh, there's a refinery blew up in Iran. Gas went up." Well, the gas that we're pumping right now was pumped a year ago. It's all total bullshit. And there's a book all about it, about how basically the banking cartel told Saudi Arabia, we don't care what you charge. You just got to put your money in our banks at a 50-year fixed deposit, dude. They couldn't even pull out. It's a giant game being played, dude. Scarcity mindset. Somebody just said 100% fucking with us. All bullshit, all contrived, all astroturfed.
Yeah, we're screwed. Okay.
We're screwed. Enjoy it.
Here we go.
At least we got the wheel. At least we got the wheel.
The U.S. cannot currently produce its own nuclear fuel in any quantity beyond R&D quantities.
Are you serious? So where do we get it from?
So currently we get all of our, so there's 5 steps in making fuel. You have to mine it out of the ground. You then turn it into a gas for enrichment. You then enrich it, which is it's essentially a refining process. So enrichment is separating the element of uranium into its couple different types based on its isotope, which is how many neutrons it has. So it's really a refining separation process. So a lot of people hear enrichment and they think, okay, this sounds dangerous, or sounds like there's going to be a lot of radiation, or there's going to be some sort of dangerous chemical reactions. It's actually just separation. So we don't even have any, in an enrichment plant, there's no nuclear reactions happening. You're not making anything go critical. This is what they call it when there's a chain reaction. And there's no chemical reactions. You are doing phase change. You're taking some material from a solid to a gas, but you're just separating it. So that's the middle step that the U.S. doesn't currently do.
Okay. Who does it? He's not telling us.
Who does it?
Who does
it? A minute and a half. You didn't even tell us who did it. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, one more video.
One more.
Today we failed on the high score.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
the
did.
The video
Very good.
Folly just curb stomped us.
He crushed us.
You can't touch your phone at all.
I want to make you aware of a new law that went into effect yesterday that pertains to every single one of us who drives a car and owns a phone. It's called the touch law. The touch law will affect 31 states, and drivers in those 31 states are no longer able to touch their mobile phone while you're in your vehicle. What? So if you're driving and an officer sees you touching your phone, they can pull you over and give you a $50 ticket. However, the fines can go up to $450. I don't know what would make the range change, but it's at least $50 for you if you're caught touching your phone. You may ask me, I'm at a light and I picked up my phone. I'm stopped. Do I still get a ticket? The answer is yes. You can still get a ticket if you are just touching your phone to pick it up and look at it momentarily while at a light.
Start taking away everything that could make it evident the government is misappropriating their power. You remember Larry Ellison.
There he is. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. We have drones. Our body cameras are simply two lenses attached to your vest, attached to the smartphone that you're wearing. By the way, and the camera's always on. You don't turn it on and off. I'm going to the bathroom. Oracle, I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break. Then we'll turn it off. The truth is,
that guy's not turning it off.
No one can see it without a court order. And AI is constantly monitoring video.
Yeah, this guy's full of shit. That guy looks like he's into some weird poop fetish. So I don't trust him telling us he's going to turn it off when we're using the bathroom. I highly doubt it.
No, he wants to see that. That's all he
We
wants
have to
to
have
see.
cameras on us. Get out of here, dude. You want to pull me over? Chase me. So let me ask you something. What if we see cops on their phone? I see cops on their phone constantly.
All the time. All the time. I can't pull him over, though. I can't citizens
I would love to. I want to do citizens arrest, but I'm too scared. Well, that's how we're going to end the wheel. We failed miserably. Time to get into Sammy's videos for the week. Here we go. Sammy's videos for the week. We're going to start off with this one. I wanted to do this last week, but I forgot. We tested it, so it should work, guys. I know last week it did. Here we go.
Friends and I used to sue each other to get on court television. The court show pays whoever wins, so we'd always make sure that the plaintiff won, and then we'd split the money. I was a witness on Judge Alex.
Man, I'm just glad we got this money. I needed the money so bad. I'm broke. I have like 3 frozen hamburgers at home. I can't afford to buy toothpaste.
I was a plaintiff on Judge Joe Brown. I played a promoter and I sued my comedian friend over a comedy show.
Promoter Ben Palmer is suing a performer for breach of contract. Defendant Terulio Ledger says he had to leave the show for his own safety.
The club not even in the hood, but the whole hood was inside the club, Your Honor.
I went on Judge Alex again as a defendant. I played a crooked promoter that ran off with my friend's money.
You know how procreation works, right?
No.
You know that there's like 1 million sperm that go swimming towards that one egg, competing to see which one can fertilize that egg?
Yeah.
I am amazed that yours won.
I also did a court show where I was paid to act out a real-life court case that they rewrote for television. I played a defendant on Supreme Justice with Judge Karen for injuring someone during a hockey match.
Completely blindsided.
You mean like if your back is turned to him?
Correct.
He couldn't do it. Is that true?
He wanted me to call him on the phone and tell him I was going to hit him.
Or if I'm completely distracted.
Let's stop.
And I played a defendant on The Mediator with Ice-T for injuring my friend during a basketball game. My defense was that my friend injured himself because he was playing basketball in slides.
Kyle, no disrespect. You just can't play basketball in flip-flops.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that Ice-T is completely like rebranded himself. The guy who used to sing Cop Killers now playing all these law enforcement roles is so crazy to me.
I think he's probably explained that at some point in time, but Ice-T is all about making that money. He is. He's all about getting that cash.
All about making that money. Here we go. I think you'll like this one.
Me and Down Z are about to open a package we got delivered from one of our subscribers.
Well, one of you all just sent us some Colombian drywall. Let's talk to God, Down Z.
Chad, I lost Down Z. I've been following his snack trail for 20 minutes. I think he's hunting deer with a fidget spinner.
Down Z, where are you? I can hear your fidget spinner.
they
Gotta love it.
combined Bigfoot vlogging with Down syndrome. I never thought I'd see the day, but here we are.
Bigfoot. Here we are. This one's gonna be nuts. Are you ready? This
Yeah.
one's nuts. Are you ready? Here we go.
Shit. This is without a doubt the surprise shit of 2025.
The original.
And not only am I in disbelief that a film like this got made,
Can't understand why anybody would go around and do this kind of thing.
but it's 100% based on a true story that happened in Toronto. I'm Chuck. I'd love to be your movie guy. Hit the like button and give me a follow. And this is the Poo Poo Man, which I had the pleasure of seeing at the Chattanooga Film Festival. Listen, there's a very real, sad underlying tone to the Poo Poo Man about a man dealing with schizophrenia that goes mad. But I have not laughed so fucking hard in such a long time at the contents of this film. This shit is absolutely insane. The way the incidents are put together and these random people living their everyday lives, not expecting to get covered in a bucket of shit, is absolutely hysterical. I know this film is not going to be for everyone, but if you love The Greasy Strangler, Pink Flamingos, American Vandal, this is that kind of lowbrow humor. And listen, the soundtrack to this is a cinematic masterpiece. The Poo Poo Man is currently on the festival circuit. See it with a group of friends and you're going to laugh your fuck.
Will we see Poo Poo Man? Will you go see that midnight?
I'll wait for Netflix to stream it. Maybe I'll rent it on Amazon. I never even knew that was a movie coming out. It's not a good date night movie for my wife and I. I probably would have to see that one alone. So
Okay, here we go. Here's another one.
Conspiracy theorists, this might be the granddaddy of them all. Listen to this. The Lakers were just sold for $10 billion. This is the highest price ever paid for a sports franchise. That is $2 billion more than their December projection. And again, it got me thinking. Follow me here. One of the league's top young stars gets traded in a massively lopsided trade to the flagship franchise. Then the Dallas Mavericks, the team that traded the young star, ends up winning the draft lottery with only a 1.8% chance to do so. Basically getting the rights to one of the most generational prospects we've ever had come into the NBA. Now stay with me here because it gets even crazier. The NBA has already been hinting at expansion with Adam Silver saying, quote, "This is the summer we're gonna look at it." Well, guess what this sale does? It raises the value of any incoming expansion team, which in turn is good for all owners because it raises the value of all their teams too. And all this happens in a year when the NBA ratings have been tanking and the league needed a boost in the worst way. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you there's really a conspiracy here, but let's be honest. When you break it all down, it just seems a little too perfect.
My problem with this content creator is every time he does a video, he says, "I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not saying it's conspiracy," when he's 100% saying it's conspiracy. He does great work. I'm not shit talking him. I just like, dude, own it. You do conspiracy videos.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we're rich as shit here. Oh, sorry. Go on.
It's a sports conspiracy. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are sound like people are like, oh, it's conspiracy theory. These are business plans, and they're enacting them.
Yeah, 100%. Are we rich now? Did we get 2,000 yen and can we retire? I feel like we should be able to retire. Thank you, Patrick. With some weird alien writing in front of that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your courage. Good over evil, life over death. There we go. But if we do death, it's going to be DMT. Here we go. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Let's do another one. These videos are fire. Am I right or am I right?
No, I like them.
Okay, here we go. This one's a very interesting one, too. Here we go.
Remember back in the 90s when the Olsen twins had their iconic musical party series? They had SeaWorld Adventure, Hotel Whodunit, Funhouse Mystery, but there was one that really stuck out to me, and it was called Sleepover Party. This one released back in 1995, and in this series, they had a song called Give Me Pizza. The weird thing is not only the fact that they had a bunch of kids singing about pizza, they also had one of the girls say, "Leave the eyeballs out." They had one of the girls saying, "Don't forget to add the sauce," and then another girl adding whipped cream on the piece. And knowing what we know now about them, it's really hard to count anything out. I'm gonna play the song for y'all, and y'all let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments.
That's That's right, one super giant pizza, plain, nothing on it, and I'd like that delivered as soon as possible.
Girls, your pizza's here.
Thank you.
Oh no.
Okay, guys, we've cleaned out the refrigerator. I think we're just about ready to build the perfect pizza. Give me pizza! P-I-Z-Z-A. Give me pizza!
I'm gonna jump the video a little bit.
Yeah. Chicken, throw it on top and make the finger.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that long of a movie. That long. Here we go. Another one. This one's a very interesting one. Here we go.
Wendy.
Okay, we got
God.
so many videos. I can't sit there for these long videos. Sorry, guys. We're turning and burning here.
Yeah.
I love this one. This is a fun one.
Currently, we're going into a recession because men aren't tipping strippers. Historically, when discretionary entertainment spending drops, it often signals broader economic trouble ahead, and turns out strip club revenue is actually considered a somewhat good economic indicator by some analysts. And strip club revenues are currently on the decline across major markets. So, we might be cooked, but not you. Because here's exactly how this recession becomes your path to millions. Right now, you need to acquire a profitable recession-proof business. Businesses that people always need, even when the economy is bad. Like this funeral home that's already making $100,000 in profits, selling for just $440,000,
Nice.
which you could buy for less than 5% down with an SBA loan and some seller financing. So when the crash hits, your business keeps churning profits. But here's where the real money comes in. When there's a recession, valuations tank. This means you can use the cash you've stacked from the business you just bought to buy out your competitors for pennies on the dollar. Roll up a few of them and rise to the top when the economy rebounds.
Yeah,
Boy,
I mean,
that easy.
Dana and I have been wanting to get a laundromat for a long time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. That does seem pretty recession-proof.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got to. Okay, so we should be down to the final 2 videos of this. Oh, there's 3. Here we go.
Okay.
We'll do this one real quick. Here we go.
As of now, everyone in this room's test scores from last week have been tossed. They've been developing test questions for a brand new exam that you are going to take to make up for last week's scores right now. By some miracle, you all managed to score even better on yesterday's exam. We're going to take another exam with questions written by me and me only, which means I'm also the only person in the world who could help you cheat. And guess what? I'm not going to do that. So how'd you do it? Here's what we're going to do. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100. You get it right, you pass this class. You get it wrong, you fail. Yesterday, when Jeremy guessed 17, I was thinking to myself, well, that's just lucky Jeremy. And then when Eric and Michaela and Tori all correctly guessed the numbers that I was thinking of, I began to lose all faith in reason. One of you has implanted a chip into my brain. I'm coming for you. But what remains to be seen is if you can tell me what's going to happen in my future. These are my mother's ashes. She died, as you all accurately answered on your exam. I can't teach you anything. You already know everything. You already know everything. What are the winning Powerball numbers this weekend? I'm fucking rich! Wait a minute. Is my wife cheating on me? I fucking knew it, that fucking bitch. Do aliens really exist? Who killed JFK? 9/11. Let's start with Tower 7. What really happened? How do I become best friends with Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars just asked me to open for him at MetLife.
Well, that was insane. The feeling of euphoria can never be that good again, right? Right? And you guys are absolutely sure about this? How do I get off heroin? When am I going to die? So little time left. Israel, Palestine. How do we fix that? You gave me the Nobel Peace Prize, huh? What are we doing about Ukraine? I've been offered Secretary of State, but it's not enough. How do I overthrow the president? All right, he's dead, but I think his wife saw me. What am I supposed to do? All right, she's dead. Who should I pick as my VP? I don't fucking need you. You need me. I don't need you. You need me. Well, you guys were right.
Final 2 videos. Here we go.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Final 2 videos. Final 2 videos. These are bangers. Here we go.
The Baptist emerges from the painting, smiling enigmatically like the Mona Lisa, and with his hard, penetrating features, stares at us while pointing to the heavens. If a mirror is held up to its right-hand side, the clear features of an extraterrestrial appear. The alien in that painting is not just some modern, cynically fabricated artifact. Leonardo knew what he was trying to communicate, and he was a master of it.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's
aliens.
crazy.
Yeah,
Aliens.
here we go. Final video of what was a great, but ultimately came up short episode. Here we go. Final one. I think you might like this, especially people of our age. Here we go. Here we go. Final video.
I also find it interesting that the main woman in this case, now stay with me, she looks identical to Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire, in the movie. I mean, to a T. If you guys were to see these two put together side by side, you would be blown away. And why do I say this? What does this matter? Why is it even important in this discussion? I believe that they put these things right in front of us in plain sight. And it's almost like they're saying, we got away with it. And it makes me believe that this prostitution ring, this child abuse ring that was going on at McMartin Preschool was directly tied to Hollywood. And I think that they were putting it in people's faces and saying, look at what we got away with. We are showing you that this woman was such a great grandmotherly woman. Who could ever think that she would do anything wrong? In fact, that's where the term satanic panic was dubbed from, is this influx and idea of, all this Satanism going on. And now we know that is true.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Is that crazy, dude?
Dude, it's insane.
It's crazy.
Right in front of our face.
Crazy. Well, guys, another successful doom scrolling. You learned so much. I'm going to ask you something. What'd you learn today, Midnight?
I learned that the spheres in Buga may or may not be real. I don't know, but I learned that they do exist.
I learned that the people who run the NBA are a lot more diabolical than we first thought, and they ain't afraid to fuck around and find out. Damn, dude. Damn. Guys, one more time, Midnight. Where can they find you? Everyone keeps asking, where can they find you?
obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. All links are there.
Go to samtripoli.com. Grab my dates there. I'm coming to a city near you. You can hear well-crafted, multi-layered dick jokes and conspiracy. I loved it. Great show. Yeah, man, sometimes the wheel of doom likes it weird. Sometimes the internet gives us weird videos. We don't know. But it's been a great show. We love you. We're here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, and we will see you next week. Tell your friends about it. Share the videos. Let everybody know. And if you love the content creators, their handles are on the videos. Check them out. Support them too. I love you, Midnight Mike. Rest in peace, Goat. And we will see you all soon.